plaintiff, Chantel Tillman, first met the defendant in 4th grade, and years later they reconnected on social media. Chantel claims the defendant is a sneak who once tried to hit on a guy that Chantel was interested in, and she's suing her today for unpaid rent. Defendant Megan Watley says Chantel is controlling, and the only reason she invited Megan to go out with her was because she needed a designated driver. Megan's countersuing for emotional distress and harassment.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, so I've known Megan since the 4th grade. We lost contact throughout grade school. We reconnected over Facebook, and we would go out partying and things like that. My friends told me to kind of be leery of her because she was sneaky and envious. But, you know, I just brushed it off. So one day we went out, we were at a party. I was talking to this guy, you know, I left and went to the bathroom. She reapproached the guy and told him, she's not gonna talk to you, but I will. Sounds very desperate to me.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay, she says I was very thirsty. Well,
That's
did you do?
Very thirsty.
I mean, I don't have a problem with getting guys, so
Okay,
I don't
the
know.
thirst ain't that real though. When you
No.
go behind her back.
No.
All right, go ahead. She said
Okay.
she didn't do that. I don't believe she did that.
She definitely
Who told
did.
you that?
The guy, he came up to me and was like, is that your friend? And I was like, yeah. He was like, I will watch her. And my 3 other friends that told me about it, they were there as well. Yes.
All right, she just made a momentary slip. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she's a great friend. What else?
That incident, another incident, I got a new pair of glasses. When she seen me with them on, she was like, who do you think you are with those glasses on? I'm like, what do you mean? You know, just laughed it off. So here she come 2 weeks later with the same exact glasses.
That's a lie.
Well, you guys
that
can
true?
look on Facebook and see.
That's
There's nothing wrong with
that's
that
not the
either.
that's not the whole truth.
I mean, you're an inspiration to her.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that's not envy, that's inspiration. Go
And
ahead.
she's lying in court, but I let it go.
What'd you have?
You know, 'cause
Cartiers or something?
it was just a pair of Gucci glasses.
Gucci glasses.
But the whole
All
point
right.
about it was, why would you lie and say you didn't know I had them when you just made the comment a
But you
few weeks
liked it.
before?
That's not true.
Let me allow her to give me some background on the relationship.
Okay.
So she can tell me how much you've been hating on her. Go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, Chantel, she's not really a good friend.
I know she's not.
She just basically, I feel like she used me to be a designated driver for when we go out, like she said. That part about some guy, I don't even know what she's talking about, but I know that, you know, when we have went out, she's left with other men. I'm calling, checking up on her, trying to see where
wow.
she's at. And she finally texted me back after I'm worried about her and said, I told my friends where I was at, but I drove you out. You know, you're my responsibility when we go out.
That's
so
such a lie.
It's the truth. But she's controlling. She act like, you know.
Am I your parent? How am I controlling?
Let me finish. She's controlling, like she is right now while I'm trying to speak. She's talking over me. You know, it's just so much. Like, I can go on for days
Well,
about
explain.
her.
He's asking.
Let me finish.
You don't have anything
Let me
to
finish.
say. Go ahead and explain. It's so much. Go ahead. He's listening.
No, I'm not. I want to talk back to you. Now you're going to control me now.
Yeah.
Talking about what I'm doing. Go ahead. He's listening. I wasn't listening to nothing. Control me. I'm with you now. Tell me about the rent.
I have the lease here. We entered into a month-to-month lease, November 2018. She
Let's see
defaulted.
the lease, please.
She defaulted February 1st in March.
Can I give that to him?
Sure, yeah.
Thanks.
That's right. You calling all the shots today. We got to ask you. You control this situation. Go ahead. So she defaulted in February?
Yes, February and March 2019.
How much did she owe at that point?
$725 for both months,
Okay.
so $1,450. So in January at the beginning, I told her, well, she might as well find somewhere else to live if she's so upset with the house and everything that's going on. Remind you, I let her move in without a security deposit. She had keys to the place before we even signed the lease. I didn't make her pay anything for November. And Megan lived with me in that house before she even moved in during that summer, and she slept in my living room and paid me $200 a month. So during December, I have paperwork to show she knew that it was small issues in the house that needed to be fixed, but she told me that she needed to move in now because her aunt was making her leave by Thanksgiving. So I let her move in.
How did that go, living with her? How was she as a roommate?
So in January, I had told her, like, since you're having so many issues, you knew about all these problems, you might as well find somewhere.
She was complaining a lot?
Yes, about like the things being
The ones you mentioned.
Yes. So I told her, you might as well find somewhere else to go. Since you're so unhappy, why stay here? So I'm like, you might as well stay till, she paid up to February 1st. So she agreed to leave by February 1st, and I have that paperwork here.
Let's see it.
Agreed to that.
Let me hear from you, ma'am.
Okay, that's not true, what she's saying. She said there was some things that wasn't fixed, but she's fixing it. She gave me a date that it was going to be ready. And her boyfriend was supposed to be the repairman.
And you moved in when?
I moved in November, the end of November.
Okay. And when did you discover all the things you didn't like?
I mean, shortly after I had moved in.
Okay. And that's why she extended the offer for you to move out. All right. So next,
After
what
the
else
heat
you want to
went
tell me? What else you want to tell me?
The heat went out, and she basically
How
called
long?
me up. It was more than once. On the first occasion, it was in and out. The motor was going out.
I don't know what that means, in and out. It came on sometimes.
It was
and then
on.
It
It was
off?
going out, and then it would come back
You
on.
sure it wasn't no automatic?
No, because her boyfriend ended up coming when it completely went out when we had the polar vortex.
All right.
And he said that it was the motor. She said that it was going to get fixed that day, but he said it was the motor. So I had to wait like 5 days for her to fix it.
Did you mention any of this in terms of deducting it from the rent?
Basically, she told me that I was evicted before that happened. This was
When
like
did she
on
tell
the
you you
4th.
were evicted?
It was the first week of January.
Okay. And
After
did
I
you
paid
pay?
her. I'm sorry?
Did you pay in January?
Yes, I paid for January.
All
and then
right.
right after I paid her, she told me to get
You
out.
never discussed things you're mentioning now? The heat didn't work, the furnace didn't work, so I should pay less.
The furnace went out after she told me to get out, after I had paid her for January.
Okay. All right. And you're using that to say, you're saying that to say what?
I feel like I shouldn't have to pay her all of February for when I was
You weren't there, or were you?
I was there February.
Okay. So why don't you think you should have to pay?
I got into a car accident in February. So I haven't been able to pay her.
So because of your accident, you don't think you should pay your debts?
Not quite. I mean, I'm still working that. I haven't been able to work
Okay.
like I
Well,
was
explain
before.
to me why you don't think you should pay what you owe her.
It's not that I don't think that I should pay her. I just
Okay.
need
You
time.
do agree you owe her then?
For February.
Okay. And February is 7/25. You say she owes for February and March?
Yes.
And she was there until when?
March 15th.
All right. And did she leave voluntarily or?
No, I had to get an eviction.
Let's see that, please. All this talk, ma'am. And here you got put out. Your counterclaim for what? Emotional distress and harassment. How does she owe you?
Yes. She kept showing up to the house and calling me, showing up unannounced, banging on the door. She was still getting her mail to
What
the
did
house.
you do when she banged on the door?
I didn't answer her. I texted her and just told her that I wasn't available.
Okay. So how did that cause you emotional distress?
And also the heat going out because she basically called me a liar when the heat was originally
Okay. So for
messing
calling you a
up.
liar, you want
And
emotional distress?
I was without heat.
Okay, that's not what you're referring to, though. You didn't say because you did not get the services you paid for. I'm going to dismiss your claim. You don't have any
Okay.
credibility with me. You haven't proven emotional distress for her knocking on your door. And so I'm going to grant your judgment
Thank
and
you.
dismiss yours. Have a good day.
Have a good one. Run me my money. Run me my money.
Funny.
Bitch, run me my
Childish.
money. Very childish, but you're paying me my money.
Well, I'm glad you admitted that
Bye.
you're childish.
Thanks, childish with money. Get you some property, baby girl. You're pathetic.
Okay.
Toodaloo.
All right.